So I'm just getting ready for the reading. So my intention was to do a candle wax reading, and I'm already getting the messages, so that's why I've already started. I'm gonna stand for a little bit, but if you hear some fart sounds, that's my chair, okay? I'm gonna be sitting down, and it's a leather chair. So anyway, I'm getting a song. I'm getting two songs. I'm getting Stand By Me, and I'm getting Wade in Your Water. I will write it down right now. So I will link it below. Wade in Your Water and Stand By Me. And I'm getting, with Stand By Me, a really, really close friend connection, a good friend connection. And this person feels at a distance. This person, I feel, is coming into your life. I feel a very loose connection with this person currently. This is a soul connection that you share with this person. You've shared many lifetimes with this person. You have a very deep telepathic, okay, I'm not really going to say a telepathic bond in the sense that you are both conscious of telepathically communicating, because I think I would kind of equate this more towards being like, you know, when you're a child and you have an imaginary friend, but in reality you're telepathically communicating with another person. So the narratives and the stories and the conversations that you're having in your mind, you feel are being more imaginative, when in fact you are actually having this conversation with another person. So there's a bit of an unaware telepathy happening here, but it is occurring, it has been occurring because of that close connection, that close bond that you guys have, a soul bond. And it feels that you guys are inching closer together in the physical so that you guys can become like closer friends. I just got this, it was this like sweeping vision. I saw two words, and the two words are connecting me to this next subject that I'm going to say. So bear with me. The first message I'm getting that still connecting to this message is voyage, and then I saw cabin. I actually specifically saw the book Uncle Tom's Cabin. So Uncle Tom's Cabin, you can familiarize yourself with the context of the book. There might be a significance, there might be a connection here, or it's more of like the cabin, and then it's more again of this imaginative kind of essence. And then I'm also seeing green because the book is green. I don't know if the hardback's green, but I know the paperback for Uncle Tom's Cabin's more green. There's some sort of green essence to this, and it feels like very earthy, right? I want to say that the wording in Uncle Tom's Cabin for the book is more of like almost like a mustard yellow. So you see it's these like kind of earthy tones. There's going to be some sort of significance here to that when it comes to your connection, your bond with this other person, okay? So now the next message that's coming through, I'm not sure if this is for the same person or this is for a new person. I actually feel that it's leaning me towards a new person, but there may be synchronicities here for the same person that I was just referencing for the message that the first message that someone resonates with. Okay, so I'm getting voyage, but this feels more of a voyage in the spiritual. And I'm connecting you to two things. The two things I'm connecting you to is my last two readings actually. So I had my live, and then I had a last video that I was picking up messages in there as well for the collective, and that I referenced that's connected to my live. So if that resonated with you, this message is very likely for you. In fact, it is for you. Not very like, this is your message. Okay, so what I'm getting is, okay, they're connecting me to a couple things that I was saying. They're like, okay, you need to like emphasize why you said the things that you said. Okay, so in my live at the very end, I'm like, I'm going to the Amazon, not yet. So I felt compelled to share that. Now, when I go on trips, I don't normally mention it. I don't know if I've ever I think I mentioned like one time maybe that I've like gone somewhere on my channel, just because it doesn't feel relevant or necessary, so I just don't. This one felt necessary. Now I'm going for it's mostly work related, but there is obviously a recreational element to it. But okay, so I'm aware. Okay, and then they keep connecting, they keep circling. They're saying, remember when you said in the live that you wanted to get back on live later, like some other time, and just talk, like just chat. And they're like, well, why did you say that? Like, what were you saying with that? Because there's a message in that as to why. Because I didn't really want to come on and just like sit here and like talk to you guys about just whatever, which I would love that anyway, but I mean, there was a reason. That wasn't why I was saying it. It felt like there was something else that felt more casual, but still channeled. You're not alone. Okay, these are the messages, like if I was just to sit and chat. So this is why I was saying it, is because there's a message about you not being alone. First of all, you're not alone. It's kind of, I'm hearing it in the song, like in that tune, you are not alone. So I'll put that link below as well. Maybe there's a message in there for you, or maybe you're a Michael Jackson fan. Maybe there's this element of being misunderstood or misrepresented. There's this feeling about not worrying about tomorrows, right? It's like feeling, oh, here we go. Okay. The element of darkness, we're just gonna like kind of umbrella it in that, capitalizes on the idea and the energy of worry, of concern, of stress. When you fall into full faith into, and I just heard the word resurrection. So there's a resurrection here. It's like that death into resurrection. It's the faith of death into resurrection, in the sense that, like, if you want to put it in like the exact terms, is like never being afraid to die because you have faith that you are everlasting. You're an everlasting presence. Your soul is everlasting. And they're flashing, I don't know why this is making me emotional, but they're like flashing all of these instances that I've had, like shared with people, especially in this line of, I don't know, this doesn't work for me, but it's like this line of passion, this line of what I'm doing, and it can be very taxing on someone, if you don't have faith, right? And if you think about like hard careers, if we want to look at different careers and, you know, things in the medical field, or, you know, child services or mental health, like all of these things where you're dealing with some very stressful environments, you know, especially if you're experiencing like the end of life of people, things like that, it can be very troubling. But that faith, especially if okay, so because they're flashing like a pastor, right? And they keep flashing this pastor, and how the story that they're showing me is like a pastor that goes to, like hospitals to read them their last rites, so on and so forth. And it's like, if you were the pastor, you know, that can be very difficult for you. You know, it could be very hard on you if you didn't believe what you stood behind, right? Otherwise, that is a blessing, and to be in that line of work, because you fully know, you walk in that knowing of what it is you're doing, right? Am I making sense? I don't know if I'm really getting to the depth of what I'm really trying to convey. So like the most honest way I can put this is if I look at like what I do, okay? Again, I don't see this as a job or anything. I'm not really making a career out of this. So like people come to me for many different reasons, right? And like I continuously do this work, right? Off camera, I'm doing this work. And like I know what I have seen. I know what I've felt. I know what I've experienced. And no one can alter my understanding of what it is that I feel and that I know. It is an inherent truth. I kind of even want to avoid saying the word belief in this context, because even if by definition it may be a belief, since there is no tangible proof behind the things that I experience and that I feel, it's just the absolute truth. And so this is not hard for me. This is I welcome this. I honor this. I treasure this opportunity to work in the light of God, in the sense that in that way I am actively working, right? I'm listening, I'm engaged, and I'm doing what I feel called to do. And not like, no matter what anyone says to me, no matter what I experience with this, it is not too much, right? It's like if someone comes to me and says something, like there's no shame, there's no judgment, there's none of that. It's just it's like you're enough, and there's an important factor here of you understanding that you are enough and that you should know that inherent truth within you. And maybe the power also that resides within you, in the sense of the power of being able to allow light to flow through you. It's not the power of yourself, because as a human being alone, you're very limited. You're limited by being held back by our carnal natures. There is some limitation here. So it's really the power of obedience, the power of listening, the power of allowing you to carry yourself forward through what is resonant for you. I'm seeing an importance to February 10th, the Lunar New Year, to around April 8th to 10th, possibly the 12th. There's a significant time here. This is going to be specifically for the one that all of these messages resonate with, for this bulk of it, and there's someone else that's going to be resonant with as well. Now, with all of that being said, the reason why they keep highlighting this and highlighting and really wanting me to kind of be more clear with what I was saying is because me going to the Amazon, I'm aware that there are a lot of people that journey to those particular areas to engage in practices that take them on a more spiritual journey. You know, whether they're taking teas or they're licking frogs, whatever they're doing. Now, I have personal understanding that I've seen two demons specifically that are associated with these particular practices, especially ayahuasca. There are 2 demons that I've seen. And there's like I'm not going to say a weaker third, but a less associated third demon. Now, these 2 demons, it feels they present themselves as masculine and feminine, and then the third one feels a little bit more fluid. And the female I see is mostly the one that represents or can represent herself in more of a illusion of many. So there could be many other demons, and this occurs as a quick or a gradual possession of the individual by opening themselves up to receiving information and energies that they believe are of the light, but it's actually misdirected energy. So I have personal understanding of being witness to these particular demons when it comes to these kinds of practices, and there is a huge warning that keeps coming through with this particular thing, because I feel that you are going to be introduced to someone who is of a shamanic or shamanic background, and this particular shaman is slightly, I'm going to say, when I say slightly corrupt, if you are corrupt in any essence of the word, then you are corrupt. But when I say slightly, because it feels that a lot of what they have done, their previous work, has been more of the light. Now, this particular person I feel is surrounded by a lot of energies. You are not going to, I don't feel that you're going to meet them directly. If you do, you're not going to have some sort of direct encounter with them. This is someone that feels very well known, whether it's in the community or just in general. They feel famous in some way, so that's why I say works, because it seems like they've been putting things out. They feel elderly in the sense of like senior age, so that would put, what I think, is it 65? Is senior? At least in America, when you start getting those discounts. Is that 65 and up? I'm not sure. But they seem to have some sort of, they're in an older age, okay? And they have, I feel people around them. So it's like they have a protective, like, physical group of people around them, a physical field around them. And if they were to kind of discuss something with someone, you would not get that personalized type of interaction with them other than something very cordial, okay? Now, this person, I feel, is from a shamanic descent, and I'm getting rare. This person is very rare, okay? And then they're pointing out how there are many people, okay, whether they're in religious sectors, they're in the spiritual sectors, they're just regular Joe Schmoes out in the world. You know, we have good and bad people. We have misguided, well-intentioned people. We have, you know, intentionally malintentioned people, right? So this person, I feel, is fully self-aware, okay? And it's just like this long lineage. It's like deep within their spiritual lineage and deep within their heritage. So like their bloodline. Okay, their spiritual bloodline and then their physical bloodline are very connected to shamanism. It feels like this person incarnated and reincarnated very close to their family origins, okay? Whether they're from, you know, Peru, Guatemala, like somewhere, okay? Somewhere around there. Now, you're either going to, like, hear about them, like, more than you're hearing about them now, because you're going to hear, like, who they specifically are, okay? You're going to, like, get something specific from them. Do not look into this, like, do not research this, do not try and bend this type. This is a big test, okay? And they're pointing out, they're like, you know, oftentimes guides will see if you're ready. This is part of, it's not necessarily testing you, but it's like, I mean, it is, but your soul has put these kind of roadblocks, to ensure that you stay on your path. So this is a test in the sense that this is another warning. Do not look into this. Just hear the message and let it flow, let it pass through, and let it happen naturally. Do not try and control this, because that's going to signal whether you're ready for this next step. And it may delay if you take matters into your own hands without it being, guided for you to do. So it can delay these next steps. But anyway, I see this person like above you. So I don't know if there's like a book maybe that they have that's like going to be above you somehow, and you're going to see it and feel prompted to look into this book, or someone's going to hand you a book, someone's going to bring something up. I don't know who this person is, okay? So you're going to hear very specifically who this is, okay? Or they're going to be like in your area for some reason or something, okay? And they're connected to shamanism, they're connected to the Amazon, and I see basically what's going to happen is you're not going to go down the same practices as them. I don't feel if you are, there's a warning not to do that, because they're talking about frequency, and they're saying that, okay, so like this person, that's what I mean. They seem so famous that if they are still doing this type of stuff, it's in like a big group, okay? And they're basically just like letting the free will of others and like kind of their own destiny and fate kind of take control of the situation for the most part, because it's less guided than it could have been. And so that's where that corruption started coming in, because when you teach many, especially with these types of things, then there's a lot that can kind of go awry. And also in the sense of like they're giving an example of like priesthood. So it's like, with priests, like a long time ago, they were very selective with the priest, who they would choose to become priests, like long time ago, right? And so it's that kind of feeling where it's like there's not a lot of selection that comes through. And so people just kind of get misdirected and also slip through that may not have the proper intentions and all of that, or even experience. It may not be their path, but that's the path that they're taking. Like the best chosen path for their life. And so it's important that you recognize all of this, because that demonic energy, like it preys upon that feeling of not being enough, and having some sort of dependency, on it, or even like gratitude towards it. It's different. It's different than God. But if you don't really know God, then it can be very confusing to discern between what is of light and what presents itself as light. It can be very confusing for that. And there's this warning, because basically what you're encouraged to do after you encounter this particular individual is to ride the energy of light. Like this person themselves feels very powerful when it comes to the spiritual side. Like they're the real deal. Now I know I said like slightly corrupt, and I'm not really tapping into their energy, but there just seems to be, other than what I've mentioned, there seems to be some sort of compromising that has occurred with this person. There's some slight compromising that has occurred probably, like, I don't know, like the past some years, like 20, 30, I don't have no idea how many years ago. And it just is like this gradual thing that doesn't have to do with these forces, because, you know, I talked about those demonic forces. Like, when I say they're the real deal, it feels like they're tapping into these other energies. They're opening themselves up to, like, the spiritual realm. They are thinning that I don't really know how to explain. It's like, it is the veil, but it looks different. It's like they change the physics, like within their own. And they're able to change their energy to where, like, the physics, like the physical reality, they're able to mend it, change it. Not literally, but they're able to do it with their mind. Surpass the illusion. And this is something that has to be, it's kind of earned, you know. It's like spiritually earned. Like, it takes many, many lifetimes, you know, and it's supposed to be in someone's destiny. So it's kind of that difference between being taught and teaching. So it's something that can't be taught. It has to be passed down. And this person's energy is very, they carry a lot of light beings around them, irregardless of whatever they've done that I'm picking up on that's kind of a little squirrely. Like, they carry a lot of light around them and light beings around them they're kind of like spiritual scrubbers. So they take out all the toxicity and darkness that's around them and other people. They're purifiers. They're spiritual purifiers. And so touching their energy, like, you're going to touch their energy through a book or through hearing some form of connecting with them. And how you connect with them is what happens, irregardless of the vessel of which this happens, which is not supposed to be through some sort of, like, group teachings, because it's not going to be a personal thing. It would have to be a group teachings. You're not supposed to be doing that, so it would have to be something else. What's supposed to happen with that is you sit with that cleansing energy, and that is going to catapult you. It's going to clear out so much like debris. It feels just like gunk, like on the ground, right? So it's like you've cleaned and clean as much as you possibly can. You've done a really good job at clearing out your energy and your aura, but there's like kind of like grime stuck to the bottom, right? And this energy comes in and disintegrates that. It chops up all of that, like, stuck grime at the bottom and pulls it completely out. And what this does is brings even more reflective light into your vicinity, right? So imagine it's like dark grime on the bottom. You've cleared everything out. Now you've cleaned it, and it's like sparkling white floor. So all the light illuminates and brightens even bigger your aura. And this is going to send you on a voyage, okay, a spiritual voyage, an astral voyage. And this is going to take you into another form of your spiritual journey, your spiritual quest. And it's very important that you follow the directives of what they're communicating with you today, because this is going to get you on that path the quickest. So there's that. So the Year of the Dragon is going to be very important for you, okay? And then I'm moving on to the next message for another person, which is also Year of the Dragon is very, very important to you. I'm seeing a dragon mixed with a lion. The lion actually looks like a food dog. So I'm seeing this in the sense that There's a lot of protection, spiritual protection and guidance here. I'm seeing the food dogs and they're guarding your house. So there's protection around your house. There's protection around all of your physical possessions. And what they're saying is that this is going to be very connected to this year, bringing in a lot of financial abundance, and to pay attention to a cherub. I see a cherub. There's going to be significance to a cherub here for you. And then they're moving on to a next message here for someone, and there's a blue butterfly, a literal blue butterfly. So I'm seeing it as a butterfly now. I don't know if this is like a butterfly. Like, it could be a butterfly pin. It could be the butterfly pea plant, you know, because they actually look like little butterflies. It's like, but that looks purple to me, right? Like the flowers come through as purple on the pea plant, but I'm seeing a blue butterfly. So I know the blue's like rare, I guess, and I think it's rare, naturally occurring in nature. So, and then purple is sometimes called blue in you know, botanical descriptions. So I'm not sure if it's blue or purple, but I'm being called to this particular thing. And that's supposed to just, I don't know, that's going to be a sign for you of something. I'm not getting any details of that. It's just coming through as that, okay? There's another message coming through for someone here. They brought me to the water, and there's a bubble underneath the surface, okay? And it's just sitting there at the bottom of this. And I just saw Louis Vuittons, okay? And they're showing it as like, kind of like, okay, so here's a candle, right? And I want to like push it down, and you see how it just pushes through, and they want me to get the bubble and see how the bubble like came to the surface and popped. That's like exactly the image, but it was blood. When I do this, it's blood, or red, or volcanic magma, you know, I'm not sure. It's just red. And what they're showing me with this is, you know, I call Louis Vuitton's blood shoes or bloody shoes because the bottom reminds me of blood. And so they're showing this because I don't know, maybe you're British. Okay, so you're saying bloody shoes. There's a significance to shoes, or there's a significance to fashion. I am circling around fashion, and I'm seeing you, and then I'm seeing figures around you, and they feel like dapper looking gentlemen. There seems to be gentlemen surrounding you, or more of a gentlemanly type of energy. So I don't know if you're going to be going to a banquet, you're going to be going to some sort of event where people are well dressed. There's a significance here to that, but they're showing an investor, okay? And they're showing this as they're pointing this, and then they're tying this all the way back to the message about being enough. They're like, you are enough, okay? When you heard that probably resonated very much with you, because there's this feeling that you're going to meet a particular individual, and you're going to tell yourself when you meet them, and they're pointing out July. No, they're not. Is it July? No. I don't know when they're pointing it out. I don't know. It's not soon, I don't feel. It's like, but it's sometime like whenever I try and think May, I don't know if that feels right to me. And then I pick August, and it's like August, September. I don't know if that feels right either. Maybe it's like May to September, or maybe it's that season. So I don't know if, like, you know, like here in the States, August, September, generally it starts winding down. Where I'm at, it's like super hot. So I don't know if it's like supposed to be like fall type of weather, like autumn. And I don't know if somewhere in May in like another country it would be more autumn kind of feeling. I don't know. I'm not getting a clear answer here. I'm not sure. but it feels like you're gonna know. Like when this happens, you're going to be sure. I'm hearing like you're going to be sure of it, in the sense of like, you're supposed to be there. That's this feeling I get. It's like, I know I'm supposed to be here. I know I want to be here. Like there's a reason for me to be here. Okay, another message is coming through. So after I tell you this message, see if there's synchronicities in the next message that's going to come through, okay? So basically what I'm getting is you're going to be introduced, or you're going to introduce yourself to someone, but when you do this, you're going to have it set in your mind already that it's not going to work out. They're not interested. And I see this person validating it in your mind, because when they're supposed to be giving you their attention, they're looking somewhere else. And so that's going to validate it for you. You're going to be like, see, I knew it. When in fact, what's going to happen is they're going to surprise you by inviting you somewhere or introducing you to something that is going to show their interest in you. And I see this as an investor. So whether you're going to a trade show, or I don't think that this is going to be this is a romantic connection. I don't really see that, like, someone who's going to be investing in you. I see this as some sort of investor. It's something that you feel encouraged to do. So you're going to go for it this year. And again, it's like a trade show or something, or you're going to go to some sort of fashion event. I don't know. There's some sort of event, and you feel like you should be there. You feel a reason to be there. You're called to go there, right? You just feel it in you. But there's an insecurity attached to it, and you're going to feel validated by a person's reaction, and then it's going to surprise you that you were wrong. It's going to be a good surprise. And then I heard the word sparrow. So there's a significance here for someone with a sparrow. This could be you, it could be someone else, I'm not sure. Sparrow. Okay. The other message I'm getting here. So if you felt that there were messages in my reading about travel, and there's, in July, your guides are encouraging you to start brainstorming by opening up your manifestation opportunities and abilities, because they're showing an ocean, and it's like tropical. It reminds me of like the all-inclusive vacations. Even if this isn't your style, they want you to just open up the energy of what it feels like to go many, many different places. Whether you're exploring, these wintry, romantic, small European towns, or you're going to these all-inclusive vacations in, Jamaica. Like, look at these places, because they're showing me that rope, in some of these places. They have a rope out in the ocean to tell you, like, how far you're allowed to go out there. They're showing that. And they're showing Catalina Island, all of these different places. And they're encouraging you to exercise your mind of all the possibilities and opportunities of places you can be, places you want to be, places you haven't even considered being, and just have fun with that feeling and explore those feelings. Feel into them as much as you possibly can encourage yourself to daydream in a productive manner. Okay, this is productive. It may not seem so, but this is very productive because it's going to get you ready. It's going to get you mentally open and available for these opportunities to come into you. They're also showing me Greece, and they're showing me I don't know, I guess I'll just so some of my family in the Philippines, they have like hotels, and they've made it kind of, you know, different, and they're showing me places like that. So it would be like, let's say a Greek inspired place in the Philippines, right? Or a Hawaiian inspired place in Florida, right? It's just explore all of it, right? And those are more tropical, but obviously, like, just again, stretch your mind and allow yourself to play in those emotions so that they're showing the secret garden, you know, where it's like the wall, that beautiful wall of flowers, and then the mysterious door and the keyhole that opens up into the secret garden. And they're showing that as a metaphor, saying the more that you allow yourself to really see the possibilities, you will be able to see what's actually there, what's actually out there, right? Because to the untrained eye, that wall of ivy is just a wall of ivy. You've seen it many, many, many times, right? But to the trained child's curious eye, they're gonna see that and wonder what is really going on there, and be drawn to all of the things that may encourage them to go there. The whispers of spirit, right? The butterflies that are going over there, the animals that are going over there. The child will follow that. Their own imagination, it's going to follow that. So that's what I'm getting for you guys right now. Those are the messages that want to come through. Yeah, so that's it. I will talk to you guys later. Oh, no, I'm sorry if you waited. I just heard before I left, because I felt, I was like, there's something else, but maybe not. I just heard yes. Yes. That's right here, the word yes. So love that word. Love it so much. That's what I got for you guys. That is finally it. Yes. Answers yes. I do.